Good evening and welcome to the Nobody Asking Me Guy show. Guys, I'm your host, Melvin Casey Lawrence. You know how we do it here. We don't waste your time with cookie cutter questions and pontificating and talking about things that make no sense and getting in people's personal business. Because if you like me, I have enough trouble just trying to keep myself straight. So when we have illustrious guests like we have in the person of Brother Brent Latin, sit back, relax. You know how we roll on the Nobody Asking Me Guy show. We always ask you to do your due diligence, like and subscribe to the show, and you don't have to pay one dime to subscribe to our show. Brother Brent Latin, how are you this evening, sir?
I am doing amazing. Brother Lawrence, thank you so much for just having me on. So I'm excited about.
To Brother Brent Latin, he's the president and CEO of Young Professional Entertainment, a media marketing and entertainment company based in Shreveport, Louisiana, which also operates a professional recording studio. So, guys, listen closely because I'm sure you're going to want to be talking to this brother in the near future. Now, Brent's entrepreneur journey began at a young age with ventures like creating a comic book series and selling VHS tapes. All right. Of his sister's basketball games. Now, YPE was formed in 2006 and officially incorporated in 2008. Now, he's also a talented musician. Brent has performed with various artists nationwide. He holds a bachelor's degree in accounting from Louisiana Tech University and is a member of none other than the great Kappa Alpha Psi and Delta Sigma Pi fraternities. Brent, his wife Jessica, and their two children reside in Shreveport, Louisiana. Again, Brother Brent, allow me to welcome you to the Nobody Asked Me Guy show. Now, as we start this journey, as we start talking about, excuse me, the things that Brother Brent Latin does, spotlight behind the camera, where the real work is done. See, people don't take time to understand that while Beyonce is out there being Lady B, there's so much great work going on behind the camera. So will you check us out here and kind of help us understand what's really happening behind the camera from the beginning to the ending?
Yes, so yes, there is so much as you just stated that goes on behind the camera, behind the scenes. But let's take it back even a step further, even before we get behind the camera, there is a lot of preparation. Over here in the film video production world, there's something called pre-production. So even when you see your favorite artist, if you see them on the Grammys or on different shows, or even if you watch their music videos, or even when it comes down to television shows or reality shows, before it's recorded, there's something called pre-production. During that time of pre-production, that's basically the planning stage. So everything is sketched out. If it's a film, the script is drafted. If it's a show, the run of show is drafted. If it's a music video or some sort of performance, there's a treatment for that. What we call a treatment, which basically outlines everything that's going to be displayed. So pre-production is even before we even get behind the camera, and a lot of times, or well, really every time, the pre-production is normally going to be more time put into that than there will be the actual filming or the actual production. So I tell everybody that's literally the most important thing. Also, from a fiscal standpoint, that's where the budget is set during the pre-production stage, so that we can make sure we're in confines or confining to whatever resources we have. But yes, so once you get done with that pre-production, then it's behind the camera. Of course, there's a whole lot of technical jargon that I could go deeper into, but behind the camera, that's why I love to be. Every once in a while, you'll catch me in front of the camera, but behind the camera, I love being behind there. And especially when we have a team and we're directing, we're getting different shots, we're being creative. Even on the technical end, we're making sure that the audio is working, making sure that the cameras are matched up, making sure that the media that we're recording on is ready. There's just so much that goes on with it, and I love that aspect of production.
And as you talk about the pre-production, our audience, and I see the thumbs going, and they will give me questions many times. They'll wait until you finish, but I see questions popping up already. And Damon is saying, when you prepare for pre-production, who actually schedule the individuals, or do you have to do that on your own?
Luckily, we're blessed here at YP. We have a team. It's four of us full time, and then we also have different contractors or different people that work on different projects. So normally we have an executive, or here at YP we have an executive assistant. So she handles most of the logistical matters, administrative matters, as far as communicating between the client or whoever we're producing for and our team. So to answer that question, we have someone dedicated for that.
Okay. Okay, listen, hey guys, keep coming.
And
Alyssa is
questions,
saying,
I love questions. I love it.
wonderful. I'm laughing, Brother Brent, because both you and I are married. And Alyssa is asking the question Alyssa is asking, she's saying, when you meet some of the top stars, uh, do you ever get starstruck and wish you were with them?
Oh wow. So funny story. This was maybe 7 years ago. How old am I? Maybe 7, 8 years ago. We were filming for a national brand called YBF. She's a blogger, and we were hired on as the production team. She's from New York, so we drove down to New Orleans where the show, oh my goodness, what's the name of that show? Carucci and Niecy Nash. Oh, I can't think of the name of the show, but very popular show. I'll Google it once I get a chance to look down. But we were doing behind the scenes, and we interviewed Niecy Nash and Carucci, and I actually put a picture up on Facebook, talking about how beautiful Carucci is, and I got a chance to mic her up, and Niecy Nash how attractive and beautiful she is. But I put Carucci on there, and I said, "This woman is so beautiful." But I get to go home to a much beautiful woman. So it's funny that you said it, but and I'm not gonna say I was starstruck to where I was like, oh my goodness, I can't believe it. But you know, I'm not blind, and my wife knows I'm not blind. But at the end of the day, I still have an opportunity to go back home with the most prettiest woman. So uh, hopefully that answered your question. I think Alyssa, is that who that
Alyssa?
was? Okay.
Alyssa? Yeah. And yeah, I tell you what, she's putting hearts and thumbs up for you, brother. So I know you appreciate that. Listen, and we're discussing the pre-production and the questions coming. I would like us, if we can, just to delve a little bit into. Now, I know you do the media and marketing, and we're talking a little bit about the media. And I share with our audience a little bit about the importance of marketing and maybe why they should look into if they are going to have a trek into any kind of entertainment that they may want to be sure that they tap into marketing.
Yeah, marketing, and simply put, what you're doing with the branding of your show, that's a part of marketing, putting it out there. So marketing is basically, in layman's terms, putting putting your product or your service or your brand out there for people to see. So the production side, that's more the media piece. Okay, so you have the media piece, but what do you do with that piece of media? How do you put it out there? That's where the marketing goes in. So that's why it's called social media marketing, which is of course one of the ones that everybody is navigating to now. But you have social media marketing, Facebook, Instagram, X, YouTube, you name it, on social media. Then you have digital advertising, marketing, or digital marketing, which entails using ads that you see pop up on your phone, or if you're on the website on your computer and you see the ads pop up, or even if you're on YouTube or Hulu or YouTube TV, those different things, and you see commercials pop up, local commercials pop up. That's a part of the digital marketing side. But marketing has been around forever. What we're very familiar with, television commercials, that type of marketing, also radio, billboards, you name it. There are so many different strategies to do the advertising and the marketing. But marketing also entails understanding your specific niche. So to be honest, if I'm trying to appeal to people 25 and under, I probably don't need to put a lot of marketing into, or put my marketing efforts into advertising on terrestrial television or even radio, because most people 25 and under, they're not on those avenues. However, social media would be really key to doing that. So that's just kind of a brief, but I could talk literally everything we're talking about. I could spend 2 or 3 hours on each topic, but that's kind of the brief output on marketing.
Okay. Okay. Now, excuse me. Also, your company is an entertainment company. And I will ask for our audience, I'm waiting on some more questions, but for our audience, I will ask, when we talk about entertainment, as we know, there are different genres of entertainment. Is there a favorite form or genre of entertainment that when you are going through your processes and your pre-production and people are coming to you for assistance? And I know that obviously it's all, as kids like to say, and we said in the old days, it's all good. But is there a particular form of entertainment that kind of gets your juices flowing when you sign these contracts and when you're working with these people? The I should say the entertainers. Is there one particular genre that you really get geeked about?
Yeah, so that's almost a twofold question. So the entertainment branch on our company kind of delves into some of our own productions that we're putting out. So we're actually kind of trying to get back into that. When kind of before COVID, at the peak of it, we had a brand called Fifth Quarter Sports that we used as our entertainment arm, and we were live streaming high school sports. One year we live streamed the Soul Bowl, and we had close to 22,000 people watching. So just it was on Facebook and YouTube. So people were watching, sharing, commenting. So what we did from an entertainment standpoint for our business, we sold advertising for that game. So we had commercials running during the game. We had graphics running. We had audio mentions running. So that's the entertainment part. But I would say, as far as when we're hired to do certain things, something that I love to do, I love documentaries and interviews. That's kind of my biggest thing, and we've been blessed to interview a lot of famous people. But I'm just kind of, I don't know if it's because I'm in my mid 30s, but at this point, I love interviewing anybody. So it doesn't matter if everybody knows your name or if nobody knows your name. I love people's stories. So, but we have been privy to interview, even as recent as the summer of last year. We interviewed Jordan Davis, which is literally probably one of the largest country artists right now, and he's from Shreveport. But we had opportunity to interview him, and we've just been able to interview a plethora of people. Well, actually, I don't know how I could forget. We were actually able to interview literally 3 weeks ago Kenny Lattimore when he was here. And I have a on the YPEN, on the entertainment brand, I have a show called What's the Biz, and he was on that show. So yeah, between interviews and documentaries, I would say that's what I love to do when it comes to the entertainment portion and meeting some of those people.
Fantastic. Now, Carla wants to know, and she hit it immediately when you said that. Your show, What's the Biz? Can you tell us a little bit about that? Carla want to know about What's the Biz.
Yes, and we're getting ready to republish that back on our site. But with that show, I just kind of similar to what you do, I will interview people in the area. I haven't done it in a couple of years, so I'm trying to put that back on our list to do this year. But yeah, I'll interview just people that are in business or people that have brands, and for about 15 minutes, we just talk about what it takes to build a brand, and they let us know something about their business and how people can reach out to them.
Okay. Was that okay? Okay, Carla, you put the thumbs up. Well, listen, I know we don't have all day to be here. I know you got some things, other things always on the table. Since we and I won't be sarcastic because but when I put the quotes up, since it is Black History Month, have you had the pleasure to interview any of our Black history historians? And the reason I do that, Brother Brent, and to my audience, well, my audience knows, they know how I am, is the fact that we all understand that every day is Black History Day, and we all
Yes.
understand the political ramifications behind specifically discussing Black History Month. So that's why I prefaced it by saying I won't be sarcastic with that. But in recently, have you had the opportunity to do any interviews with any of our Black history historians
So
or activists?
So actually, it's there's one project that we're working on that isn't out yet, but it surrounds our history here locally on Black History, which is amazing. So we've been working on this project for a while. We've been privy to interview a lot of local people that were pivotal or either had the insight or were eyewitnesses to great things happening. And when I say great things, meaning great events, not saying that the times were great, but some of the times that were going on. So yes, we definitely have. And like you said, alluding to Black History Month, no, like you say, Black history is all the time. And I'm blessed to my son, who is will be 11 in a few days. Um, Even when he was 1 or 2, we made sure to instill, hey man, know your history. So he's a history buff at this point. He's almost 11, so I definitely believe a month is not good for any of our history. It should be something perpetual that we're learning.
Fantastic. Now, being that you have an 11-year-old son, and you share with him, and you instill and you teach them about history. Have you met any pushback, not from your son, but just from people in general, when we discuss, and I mean the Universal Week, when you discuss Black history, or if you happen to engage in a topic that kind of goes a little deeply in that? Have you experienced much pushback, or people pretty much amenable to having a conversation as opposed to having an argument? That's really the question I'm driving at, so I should make that clear. Many
Right.
times people want to have an argument rather than have a discussion. So, have you met with during any discussions on Black history with individuals that prefer arguing as opposed to having discussions?
To be quite honest, I haven't. I haven't, and of course, I'm not ashamed to talk about Black history, or even doing some of the difficult moments in our journey, in our country's journey. We're actually working on another project that we're working on, to where there's a dark part in the history of that organization, and I told them, we have to put this in here, like this is a part of the history. And I told the people that we interviewed, which all of them weren't Black, some of them were white, and I said, just open up about it, and let's talk about it, let's have a conversation. So I can be honest in the and I don't know if it's a little easier for me, because normally when we're doing interviews or doing documentaries, that sense of truth is already kind of at the forefront, because that's what we want to pull out. So even some of those uncomfortable conversations, and we always prep people when we interview them, especially when it's dealing with Black history, and there may be someone of a different race that has to talk about it. And I'm at the point now, I'm like, look, say Black. Say Black, because I'm Black. There's nothing wrong with saying Black. It's nothing wrong with that. And I was joking with someone one day, and I was kind of serious. I said, I'm always scared of somebody if they're scared to say Black, because they may have some other connotations that are not positive. So no, I will really say, in my experience in filming and documenting, the people that I've encountered, we have that conversation, and I try to pull out the honest truth from those conversations.
Well, that's fantastic. That's very enriching. So listen, I don't want to keep you all day. I know I've said that before. In parting, okay, good. I'll just check and see if I had any more questions. In parting, would you have any nuggets you'd like to share with our viewers?
Yes, I always got some of those. Whatever your passion is, I'm blessed. I'm literally blessed. I thank God for this every day, that pretty much I would say 99.9% of the income that I've made in my life, outside of when my mom, who used to work she was the PR person for Shreve Memorial Library. She had me intern at the library for 3 months during the summer when I was in high school. So I made a little money there. But outside of that, between being a musician and able to do all of this creative stuff with media and marketing and entertainment, I'm blessed to follow my passion, and to make 99% of my income off of my passion. So I tell anybody, pursue your passion. It's not always easy. The money's not always there. It's ups and downs, ebbs and flows with everything, but keep pushing. Don't give up. Do what you got to do to follow your passion and your purpose. And always be a learner. Be willing to learn, because the only way that you can stay, my pastor said this years ago, you have three options in life. You can be behind the curve, you can follow the curve, or you can be ahead of the curve. So the only way to be ahead of the curve, you have to educate yourself and be willing to educate yourself, and always push for success, because by default, you're gonna go behind if you don't push for success. So that's just a few of the nuggets that I think I try to live by.
Wow, fantastic. Listen, let's back this train up just real quickly, and let's talk a little bit about your musicianship.
Yeah, definitely. Been a musician pretty much my entire life, and I'm still a church musician. Now I play at the Peaceful Rest Baptist Church, that's my church, and also the Calvary Baptist Church, which is my other church family. So every Sunday, that's where you can find me at 8 o'clock and 10 o'clock, and also 5 o'clock. But both of my parents are musicians. My mom is still a musician this day, and she's a singer. So I get it from them. I learned how to play by ear pretty early on. I started out on the drums, but transitioned to the piano slash the organ when I was about 8 or 9. By the time I got to high school, me, some of my friends, we started a band and we gigged. I started gigging in high school, so we played for private parties and played at restaurants and for different events starting in high school. So I pretty much gigged all the way up to probably I was about 24, 25 until I had my first child. And yeah, but music is a big part. Actually, YPE started from a music basis with the studio. Me and some friends in high school, we were recording gospel, R&B, hip hop on the senior skip days. Instead of, well, we still went to everybody's house to go hang out, but one of the last stops would be at my house where we would spend time recording literally all night. So those were just some awesome, fun memories, and it grew into us having a recording studio and recording every genre of music you could think of with people here in our area and just people nationally as well. So music is definitely a big part. And I also do music training as well. So yeah, I love music.
Brother Latin, it's been a pleasure having you here, and allow me to say very simply, people love to throw around this little word called being a Renaissance person. But brother, let me tell you, you are certainly a Renaissance man in every sense of the word. And
Oh,
so my
wow.
hat is off to you, brother. My shoes are off. My shirt is off, because you are truly a Renaissance man, my brother, and you are appreciated. And we were happy, and I'll remain happy to have you here on the Nobody Asked Me Guy show.
Yes, sir. Well, thank you again for the invite. It is a pleasure and an honor. I've known who you are for years and followed you. So definitely to be on your show, I know it has to be an honor because you've tracked for years and doing so many different things.
Well, listen, thank you for that, and the check's in the mail. So, brother Latin, have a great and blessed day. And again, it's been a pleasure.
Yes, sir. Thank y'all. All right. Bye bye.
Bye bye.